When you buy something from a supermarket, do you read the food label in it? Of course, I'm sure you would check the price of the stuff that you're buying. You would also check perhaps the expiry date of the food that you're buying. But do you read the food label? Now, I asked this to a lot of my friends, okay? They said, we do look at the food label, but we really don't understand what those numbers mean and to put those numbers into perspective and actually understand if that is healthy or unhealthy. So, what's the point in reading it? So, we don't, we kind of glance through. That's what I'm going to talk about today. How to read the food label of the stuff that you buy from the food supermarket, the stuff that you buy for your home to feed your loved and dear ones, to your kids, to your parents, etc. How to actually understand if they are healthy and the claims are actually true or not. My name is Rajiv Ambat. I'm the CEO and the Chief Health Officer and a lifestyle disorders reversal coach at Nuvo Vivo Center for Obesity, Lifestyle Disorders and Research. We are an online health and wellness company. We work with our clients across the globe, help them manage lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, cholesterol, thyroid, PCOD, fatty liver, uric acid, hypertension, etc., through our structured diet regime and exercise planning, and more importantly, a lot of follow up. All right, so coming back to the topic, I'm going to show you a calorie slip or a label, a food label, and then explain to you how to understand and how to read it. And then I'm also going to tell you what are the things that you should look out for to understand if it is actually healthy or unhealthy. All right, so let me share the screen here. All right, so this is a label of a food item, okay? And how do you read that? So apparently this is basically the serving serving contains per container contains 2 servings, and each serving is around 230 grams. So we know that whole container is some stuff which is around half a kilogram of some eatable it is, right? And per serving it is 250 calories, right? So the whole container is 500 calories, right? There are 2 servings per container. Now, uh, obviously, where do these calories come from? Calories come from macronutrients called protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And this is how you would understand. Per gram of carbohydrates gives you 4 calories. Per gram of protein also gives you 4 calories. Per gram of fat gives you 9 calories. All right, fat is a lot more calorie dense, right? So now let's delve into these numbers now. So this contains per serving, one serving contains 12 gram of fat. Okay, 12 grams of fat will be multiply that by 9, so 108. That many number of calories. Why did I multiply it by 9? Because per gram of fat is 9 calories, right? So 12 grams of fat will be 108 calories. And it is mentioned the percentage daily value, sometimes it's written as DV, is 18%, meaning to say that this most of the times these labels are made under the assumption that this is for a standard 2000 calorie kind of a diet. Now, this is an approximation. My calorie requirement might not be your calorie requirement. It broadly ranges between somewhere around 1500 to 3000 calories, depending upon the kind of the activity of the person, age of the person, medical conditions of the person, physical activities of the person, so on and so forth. So, this is a broad kind of a rough number. Okay, so for a 2000 calorie diet, 12 grams of fat is 18%, meaning to say if you take one serving of this food, which is half of this container, according to this label, it contains nearly 20, around 18 percentage of the total fat that you need, right? Which means if you take one serving of it, then you have only 82 percentage of fat only, which is spending from the other food that you would have, right? So this is how you would read that. Now, of this 12 grams, there is 3 gram of saturated fat and there is also 3 gram of trans fat. Okay, now fat can be of multiple types. Okay, saturated fat, trans fat, unsaturated fat. These are the 3 broad classification of fat. So 3 grams of fat is there, saturated fat, that is multiplied by 727 calories, it would be. Trans fat is 3 grams is multiplied by 927 calories again. So here it is written 15 percentage, right? So 3 grams is 15 percentage of the saturated fat that you can eat. So you can calculate how much is 100 percentage and what is your total quota, right? So those are, I leave all that math to you. So that's basically what it is. Now, cholesterol is there, 30 milligrams. So that is 10% of the actual requirements, meaning maximum required amount, or your quota is 300 milligrams, not beyond that. Okay, that's given in milligrams. The rest of the stuff are in grams. So is sodium, 470 milligrams, right? So that's how you would read it. So out of the 12 grams, 3 grams is saturated fat, 3 grams is trans fat. So what about the remaining 6 grams? We can assume that the remaining 6 grams is unsaturated fat, right? So that's how these numbers add up. Okay, and how that's how you would also make sense out of this percentage daily value, right? So that explains the fat. Now, what are the things that is bad here? It is generally said, it's a debated thing, but generally larger section of the, at least the health and the wellness and the medical experts do agree reasonably that saturated fat, do not have too much of it, make sure it is lesser. But the world is still debating if saturated fat will increase cholesterol or not, but to be on the safer side, do not have too much of saturated fat, and that's what even we say. Okay, so that's about the saturated fat. Trans fat, very, very, very unhealthy, and it's bad for health. So try to make sure trans fat is as minimal as possible, and if possible even zero. Trans fat immediately increases the cholesterol. Carbohydrate levels, with 31 grams is the amount of carbohydrates. So 31 into 4 per gram of carbs is 4 calories. So 31 into 4 is 124 calories is the carbohydrates. That is 10% of your requirement. So again, you can calculate what is the total percentage requirement, right? Now, another thing which they often say is that in that will mention how much of dietary fiber is there. Higher the dietary fiber, it is better, because fiber is important for the proper digestion of the food and also for the bowel movement. So look for the dietary fiber. Higher the dietary fiber, better it is. Sugar, how much of this carbohydrate is actually sugar? Out of 31 grams, 5 gram is sugar. Okay, now some food labels will also show the difference between the sugar and the added sugars, something like this: 31 grams of total carbohydrates, of which 5 grams is sugar, and of which 2 grams is added sugar. Meaning, if something says that 2 grams is added sugar, which means of the 5 grams, 3 grams is the naturally occurring sugar in the food itself. For example, if you're taking a fruit, it might have a naturally occurring sugar, right? And remaining 2 grams is an addition of extra sugar which was added to make it sweet during processing. It might be honey, jaggery, or simple table sugar itself, whatever it is, or high fructose corn syrup, these things which are externally added. So that's called added sugar. Okay, so sometimes the labels also would show that. And of course, protein is something that they will show. Protein, 5 gram would mean that 5 into 4, right? So per gram of protein is 4 calories. So 5 into 4, 20 calories. This is how you would make sense from a food label, right? And of course, it will also show some of the other things: vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, iron, things like that. It might vary depending upon the kind of the food that you're buying. Some of these food are also fortified with minerals and vitamins. By fortification, what I mean is that they are added through other processes, other kind of stuff or micronutrients such as vitamin D, etc., to make it nutrient rich. Some food are done that way. So look for this. Now, easy way to look at it is that whatever which is there in the yellow, try to minimize it as much as possible. Fat is dense in calories, so that's why I'm asking to minimize it. Okay, whatever which is mentioned in red here, see if you can achieve as much as possible of that. Even protein for that matter. Okay, see if you can achieve as much and get as much protein on these things from the mentioned one, the one which is highlighted in the red, right? So that's other things that this is how you would read a calorie slip. Now, a couple of things while you have to remember while choosing actually buying a food from picking it up something from a shelf, right? So a couple of things. Now, the food labeling regulation is highly, highly, highly complex. Okay, and it is actually meant somehow, sadly, to confuse the people so that they actually don't understand what are they picking up. Okay, simple example is that, and the manufacturers sometimes are also dishonest in some aspect, wherein they end up putting stuff which will confuse the people or actually are unhealthy, but people think it is healthy. Okay, for example, I saw one cookie wherein of a very famous brand, it's written instead of trans fat, it is written hydrogenated vegetable oil. So this actually happened. Okay, my friend said, okay, that this has vegetable oil, so vegetable, it's healthy, no? Hydrogenated vegetable oil is yet another name for trans fat, and it is highly unhealthy. Okay, so it might not be written trans fat, it might be written as hydrogenated vegetable oil. So if you see that, avoid it. Okay, yet another thing that you can look for is sodium. Now sodium increases the blood pressure. That's the reason doctors, cardiologists would say that reduce the amount of the salt intake if you have a high BP issue. Now reduce the salt intake because salt has sodium. So salt is table salt is nothing but sodium chloride. So reduce the sodium intake. But you need to understand that sodium comes not only through salt, sodium comes even through most of the food additives. Most of the food additives and the preservatives added to kind of preserve food, or to make sure that the food stays like that without getting spoiled for a longer duration, are actually sodium based components such as sodium nitrite, sodium nitrate, sodium benzoate. MSG, or the Ajinomoto that used for the Chinese food stuff, is also monosodium glutamate. It has sodium in it. So the recommended requirement range of maximum amount of sodium that a person can have is, according to the various authorities, is somewhere around 200 to 2000, sorry, 2000 to 2000 milligrams of sodium. Okay, and to put that number in perspective, 1 teaspoon of salt has around 2500 milligrams of sodium in it. Okay, so make sure that the sodium content in the food that you're buying is as minimal as possible, because sodium anyways will come to your food through the salt that we otherwise use for cooking, and that's quite a large number also, right? So I spoke about the trans fat. What else did I miss? Yeah, so please focus on the label, don't focus on the claim. I have a reason to say that. Okay, now why do I say that is that, for example, as I said, a lot of these kind of marketing gimmicks and the things that they do to make it actually complex, and people don't understand. Now something might say no added sugar. Okay, no added sugar does not necessarily mean it is healthy. Okay, there is no externally added sugar, the claim is right, but what if the food that you're picking up itself has a lot of sugar in it, right? No external sugar is added, but the product has sugar in it, right? So do check that, check the label and see, okay, the added sugar might be 0, but there might be a good amount of sugar in it, which is inherently inside the food that you're already, the stuff that you're buying. So no added sugar. What if there is high sugar otherwise, right? Low fat is another thing that we have seen. Low fat, it does not necessarily mean that it is healthy. What if it has a lot of other sodium, or if it has a lot of other sugar or the other sort of carbohydrates? Sugar free is yet another thing that I hear. Sugar free, but what if it has huge amount of carbohydrates and huge amount of fat? I've seen some kind of cookies which claims as sugar free cookies, and hence good for diabetic people. People pick it up, but it has these kind of trans fat, or it might actually have a huge amount of calories, right? I've seen cookies, one medium sized cookies with around 250 300 calories of in one medium sized cookies. Again, to put that number in perspective, one dosa is around 100 to 120 calories. So think about one cookie having around 200 250 calories. We think it is a snack, and we eat how many? Three cookies with a cup of tea, right? Substantial number of calorie intake. So check out for that. Another thing to look for is multigrain versus whole grain. Okay, now multigrain means different types of grains are added. Okay, whole grain means the grain along with its husk and the bran is added, which means it has fiber and protein also. So instead of multi-grain, choose a whole grain. There's a difference between these two. You can add two different kinds of grain, both which is highly polished and highly refined with no fiber and very little protein. Mix it together, it becomes multi-grain. Okay, but we think multi-grain is healthy, so look out for that. That is yet another thing that you should look for. Yeah, another thing that I'd written down, which I did not want to forget, is watch for the serving size. Okay, now another thing these companies do very cleverly is that all right, the one that we saw, right, they will say, okay, per serving size, they will reduce the serving size. Okay, so for a normal person like me and you, going by the serving size mentioned in that packet, one serving size is not enough for us. We need to eat at least 2 to 3 serving size. But if they reduce the serving size or the size of the spoon inside that into much smaller, then you can put lesser number of for your sodium or for your trans fat and things like that, right? So people kind of think that per serving size there is only very little amount of sodium. So always do not get completely fooled by the serving size. Also understand the serving size that they mention, is that actually my serving size, or do I need 1.5 of that or around 2 of that as my serving size to actually satiate my hunger? So that's something that you should look for. Another thing is that the trans fat, right? Again, coming back to the trans fat, so there are these norms which says that if the number is around less than zero point 0.5 per serving size, you can actually put that as 0. So if something has 0.45 grams of trans fat, the manufacturer can actually put it as 0 grams of trans fat, right? It has 0.45, but since the mandate tells you that if it is less than 0.5, you can ignore it, they will mention it as 0. So it actually has trans fat in it. So that is yet another thing that one you should be looking for. And this is quite common, especially if you buy stuff like a candy box. You would see these kind of things. So that's basically what I wanted to talk to you all about. And I hope this will help you to really understand the difference between a truly healthy food versus the junk that we might be buying, mislabeled junk that is masquerading as a healthy food in a healthy corner of the shopping uh, uh, in your shopping basket. I hope this was helpful, and next time when you buy stuff, you would actually read that and understand and buy healthy stuff for your kids and for your loved and dear ones. If you have any questions, as always, do ask here, comment here. My name is Rajiv Ambat. Signing off from Nuvo Vivo Center for Obesity, Lifestyle Disorders and Research. We are an online health and fitness company. We are into medical fitness. We help people reverse the age. Reverse the age. Sorry, we help people reverse the age. We also help them manage lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, cholesterol, thyroid, PCOD, fatty liver, uric acid, hypertension through lifestyle interventions. And if possible, if lifestyle interventions are done in the right manner over a period of time with the necessary support and advice of a doctor, it may be even possible to reduce the medications, let it be diabetes or let it be yet another other sort of medications that a person is being on. So that's what we do. If you have any questions, do reach out to us. This is Rajiv Ambat signing off. As always, stay healthy, stay fit, stay young, and stay safe. Take care.